Hello, everybody, and welcome to another installment of the MRL Cup Series here for race number 4 of the season. And welcome to a long awaited time back in this series. So, we've taken the last 2 weeks off in order to actually get acclimated to everyone, get into their little holiday spree. And Christmas, New Year's have come and gone, and now we are back to get down to business. So we have technically 14 drivers that are going to be earning points here tonight. Two of them are brand new to the series. Of course, we had drops over the 2 week period, and those drivers, Tomboy as well as James Snow, got bumped on out, and taking those places are going to be Bushfan as well as Fireslayer. Both of them are going to be P3 and P10 respectively tonight. In fact, actually, I should probably check and see my. Actually, yeah, P3 and P10. So because of that, we have 14 drivers that are going to be getting points tonight. Deathstorm and Keith are going to be the last place points for tonight. Of course, life gets in the way. I should let everyone know that we are rolling. So with that, bad for you. Thank you so much, man. Good luck to you as well. We have 12 drivers actually going to be on track. 14 will be getting points tonight, like I said. And going to be on pole is going to be Story Square. Very surprising pole. He is, well, I expected him to be a front runner, but not the pole sitter, if I'm going to be honest. P2 as well being Cyber. Cyber is in a very precarious position here. Going into this race, he is actually tied with RS Meatwagon to go and see who will be the Season 3 champion. Now, of course, this is going to be the biggest thing here going into tonight because this is a 40-lap event. These laps and these stages are going to be very curious. Because of that, we have a lot actually strategy-wise that these guys can do. And because there's only 12 drivers that are going to be out on track, two unlucky souls will not get stage points. Stage points will be so critical going into tonight that because of that, we actually may see your championship leader be dictated by stage points alone. Of course, everyone wants to do really well in terms of the overall finishing part of the race. However, I mean, stage points are good as well. I mean, of course, first place gets 10, all the way down to 10th place getting 1. So because of that, Story Square is going to be our pulse here tonight. Now, critically, this is not going to be the best case for him because here he is on the outside, already getting into a good start, though. That is name of the game number 1, though getting a little loose off of those rumble strips. Very, very sharp left-hander here, very fast left-hander. Everyone here is looking to have a good start of the race. So 48 of Worst Cod, going to be already out of the opening draft, but no harm, no foul. This is going to be the biggest thing. Going up here, down this left-hander right down here, and then looking at this double right-hander up the hill, double right, a bad few, really tossing it on down. He's going to pick up a position right there, coming on off of the double right, and just like that, that's how quickly things can change. You can see Fireslayer has dropped a position right there, already down to P4 with RS Meatwagon right behind him in P5. The 88, though, looking pretty strong here to begin the race here. Lap 1 of this. Actually, I should probably talk about my in-race streamers. Of course, we have our usual 2 up here tonight. However, we also have a third. Fireslayer is actually in as part of our in-race streamer as well. So these drivers are going to be showing up and showing out tonight. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what these guys have in store. There's the 20 of Fireslayer, of course. Making one of his best seasons of his MRL career last season in Challenger, overall finishing P7 in the standings, making the playoffs, P6 in the standings, overall making the playoffs, and it was really, really close. No, I was right. I was right the first time. It was P7 in the standings. I apologize. Always have to fact check myself. But yeah, bad for you though as well. Already saying that, hey, he wants to wish us good luck in the booth, so hopefully everything is going to work on out for him down in down on track as well. So this is going to be the big thing. But yeah, Fire Slayer is going to be one of our in-race streamers here tonight. So because of that, we have 3 different POVs here tonight. Sauce, Fire Slayer, as well as Bassbug. All of these drivers here, various strategies that we have on board with us tonight. And some of them are going to be fuel savers. Fuel savers / tire savers. So as soon as they go and break into the first... or break into lap 4 here of this race, I'll be able to see how many laps to go. We have 10 more laps in this stage. Technically, this is a saver. You can not worry about tires and fuel if you are really wanting to push the limit and try to get some good stage points. And that is, I'm pretty sure, what these guys are doing back here. From like Just Ken on behind, because right now Just Ken's in P8, so you have P9 being Sauce, as well as P10. Right behind both of them is Bassbug. That's P10 and P11 being Packers. Both of these guys, all 4 of these guys, probably saving in order to not have to pit at the here in this first stage. However, we have a caution. What was the caution for? Oh, wow, what happened? Probably something with Fire Slayer, maybe Bad For You got caught up in it. Let's take a look at that. So looking from the POV of all of this, looks like Bad For You got caught on up, and Xander had nowhere to go. Somehow that was a caution. I'm not sure why, but hey, you know what? We can spin at Las Vegas, but and have no caution come on out when we have 2 cars stopped on track, but we can have 1 caution with 1 singular person caught on track. So I guess screw fuel strats. We have a race on our hands here for stage 1. So Bad For You getting relegated to P5 off of that puts Xander up into P3. Fire Slayer still in P4 off of that. However, all of these guys that were really worried about strats here are going to be back in contention, because now we have a few of these fast guys up in front here, and unfortunately for them, they're not looking to just go away. Syra, probably the biggest loser off of that, is not only is he going to be starting in P3, but he's actually going to be on the outside here in the turn 1, which is going to turn into the inside here for turn 2. So depending on how far everyone wants to push, there you go, Xander already going off track right there. He's going to lose 2 spots right there. Make that multiple spots, getting way off course. That's definitely not going to help him on out. Just Ken as well, getting caught up in that incident, going way wide. Xander's going to rebound for P5 off of that, so that's great news for him. Looking to the double right-hander, Cyber really, really aggressive, trying to get to the outside. Definitely, this is the hardest part of the course right here, is just avoiding everyone, making sure that you can actually just ride your own lightning, essentially, and make up a few tenths while you're at it. Biggest loser off all of that has to be Bushfan. Packer still there in P11. That is our last driver, or first driver out of the top 10. Sauce, though, being put into P8 with Bassbuck right behind P9. I can tell because of them to being our in-race streamers, but the 00 Just Ken getting a little slap happy right there. No harm, no foul there, and looks like the 00 is now going to be position number 8 as the 9 pick up that spot, or maybe not. The 00 off of that slow corner is able to hit the gas just a little bit harder than the 9, and because of that, position change yet again. The 95 just in front of him, that is Liv Morgan fan, almost getting the pole last time we were out at Phoenix. So good of a driver, has made multiple statements here in his short MRL career, getting multiple podiums, one in the sportsman side, and we actually have a spin by the 47 on in the back. The 47 of Bassbuck getting caught on up as we were talking about that. Here he is all by his lonesome. I'm not sure what brought that out. Let's take a look on the replay here. So it looks like coming off the corner, the 00 got loose and got tagged by the 47. So the 00 was able to correct it a lot quicker than the 47. It almost looked like the 47 was able to just continuously just ride right there, but unfortunately that takes the 47 on out of the on out of stage point territory, and he will be P11 off of that, putting Bushfan right here, who we're on board with, into P10. Very unfortunate, but it's not the end of the world. This race is far from over here, as we are now here with 4 laps to go in this stage. Lap 8 of 12. Again, this will be very interesting to see how this is all going to turn on out, because like I said, Xander and Cyber are both tied for points right here. Cyber is still P2 in this running order. Story Square, though, in P1 and has a firm grip, has led every single lap so far this race. However, you do get 5 points for leading lap here. Cyber just a little bit easier on the gas right here, and able to get a lot of that traction. He's going to be side by side with Story Square. On the outside, though, critically, Story Square is going to have the inside, but it's going to turn into the outside here in through this S section. So he's going to want to really toss on in here. Cyber's going to try to get the crossover here and probably slow in fast out through the S's. You can see that Story Square is really starting to struggle here in this long run. The Fire Slayer as well, a little bit of touch between the 8 and the 88, and Story Square will continue to lead this race. However, taking away from all of this, the 20 of Fire Slayer as well being under fire by the 1 of Xander here. However, you will notice that the 20 is also a very good road course racer. He may not say it himself, but he actually is, very surprisingly. It's that dirt experience, honestly, just trying to get the traction on down, really making sure that you don't slide your corners. In fact, very heads-up driving right there, knowing that the 1 probably is a little bit faster here in this juncture, just letting him go, not really putting up a fuss, because at the end of this stage, it's only a difference of 1 point. You don't want to ruin your race for the sake of 1 point. Speaking of 1 point, right behind here is P5 of Bad For You, but just behind him is the 9 of Sauce gaining position on the 95 of Liv Morgan fan. So all these drivers here doing some excellent work here to kind of navigate their way through the field as quickly as possible, and as meticulously as possible. So, as we enter 3 laps to go here, lap 10 of 12, Story Square still has led them all, and this may actually will swing the championship if Xander's actually going to be able to get around Cyber. That may be the grand scheme here by Cyber, trying to just hold the 1 back, because 1 point may make or break your title. However, we still have a lot of racing to go. We have this is only race 4 of the season. After this race, we are a quarter of the way through the season. Weird how that works out sometimes, but this season is absolutely blowing on by. 16 races are up on the docket, and we are on race 4. The 8 really tossing it on down. The 1 really looking to be kind of patient here. Of course, he is known to be one of the better road course racers that we have in store. It's going to be very interesting to see how he's going to stack up on Mondays, because Mondays as well, we are looking at a huge ring of road course talent. So because of that, we are looking at Saturdays here to just be a taste of what's to come on Mondays. The 8 really charging the corner here. It's going to be 2 laps to go. Remember, the stage will indicate when pits will close, and with 2 to go now, the pits are officially closed. So anyone coming on down now will have to stop, essentially to take a penalty after this stage. And you are getting a little aggressive now. Goes the 8, kind of tossing the 88, trying to get him off kilter. But yes, essentially you have to really watch on out here. If you had to pit, you had to have done it by now, which that caution kind of eliminated that. But as we are going on through the toughest part of the course, being especially 3 deep, you really want to really watch out where everyone's going to be. The 88 so far doing an excellent job of maintaining the pressure of the 8 as well as the 1 behind, but 1 mistake and you are losing 3 positions, because the 20 is also right there in order to kind of grasp at whatever you can bring. So all of these drivers still trying to get some points here. 47 is struggling, just to kind of give an update on that. 47 is still struggling, but he still can get P10 here, but it'll be really, really hard to do. 1 more lap here in stage 1, ladies and gentlemen. We have the 88 of Story Square up front, Cyber in the 8 P2, the 1 of Xander P3, and the Fire Slayer there in P4. Any one of these drivers can go and get this stage win because any mistake by any of these drivers means a position could be gained or lost. Going on through the really heavy braking zone of turn 4 right here, the probably really one of the worst places in order to get loose because it's so easy for the rear end just to back out on you. Then up through here, double shifting down into second, maybe even first if you want to get a little risque, and then you want to get on the traction as quickly as possible because now you're looking at a very long backstretch here, all the way down into the S section, down into turn 7 up here, and then P8, the 8 is looking high, he's looking low, but the 88 is going to be there. We're going to be looking from the front to back cam to see what the 8 can muster for the stage win. What can the 1 do as well? Going into turn 8 and maybe into turn 9, maybe charge the corner a little bit of, bumper touch there, but the 88 will go and get the stage win, and the 1 will spin! That is going to be position lost! Who will get there at the end of it? I think Xander will still be there at the end of the stage for P4, but that may have been for the best because he wants to be on the inside. Now, essentially, he's just betting that the game won't gain or lose him a spot. So, excellent job, Story Square, for getting the win. Cyber P2 and Fire Slayer completes the stage podium. Bassbuck and Bush, Bassbuck still was able to get some stage points off of that, putting Packers out of stage point territory, down into P11, worst caught as well outside of that. So a little bit of games maybe by the 1 of Xander in order to get to the outside. Essentially, like I said, he's betting that the game won't gain or lose him a spot. It'll be funny, but he's betting on it. So as we wait for the drivers to complete the stage, we're going to take a look and see where the 1 is going to stack up. I do believe... No, look at that! He did lose a spot! It's one of the 2 drivers that lost a spot. Unfortunate for him, that gamble did not pay off, and the 88 still, because of a weird transition right there, the H was actually able to get the lead, technically giving him 5 bonus points. So even if he doesn't lead at the start of this, at the end of this lap, he will be credited with 5 bonus points for leading under yellow. So that does count. And so because of that, we have a brand new set of circumstances here. The 8 will now be through 3 wide. Never mind, hold on here as the 1 threads the needle, trying to go in the double right-hander. Everyone charging the corner. This is going to be, like I said, the worst part of the track. Everyone just really try to get every position they can. This is probably the best place for it because of how close everyone is. 2 by 2 by 2, Story Square getting the worst out of that, dropping him all the way back to P7, make that P8 with the 47 passing him. Stage 2 here is shorter than Stage 1. You only need to save about a lap. Everyone should be able to make it without pitting here in this stage. However, if you really wanted to be aggressive, you'd be pitting this lap in order to get that, the 47 getting really out of sorts right there with the 00 just in front, as everyone trying to make up a little bit of ground here. Still, this entire mid-pack section all within spitting distance of one another. The 95 as well trying to rally back, the 47 as well behind it all right here. Packers as well making a good rebound, but Story Square as well getting the best out of it, and the 95 goes off track. He's going to lose all of that time, and he's going to go into P11 off of that. Meanwhile, the 8 of Cyber is gone. He has checked on out, and now he is trying to close the gap, trying to lengthen the gap between himself and the 1. Meanwhile, the 20 was side by side with the 1 there, but again, not being able to get onto the traction, onto the power as quickly as he could. Meanwhile, the 9 is now going to be putting him under threat here, and that foul, the 20 goes wide, and now as we go into turn 8 and turn 9 here, this may open up the door for the 9 to try to get underneath him. I don't know if it will, because now the 20 is trying to put the power back onto 1. As we go into stage 2 here, let's take a lap around Canadian Tire. So off into turn 1 right here, top gear all the way up to shift into 4th, and then immediately back down to gear 3 for this long sweeping turn 2. Turn 3 is just up above, quick up into 4th, and then back down into 3rd, and then back down into 2nd as you really want to feather this throttle. Very, very easy to get off traction here. Up into 3rd, up into 4th. Low light feathering it through here. This turn 4, and then turn 5 and turn 6 up here. Turn 5, bam. You really want to kind of clip that corner, then straight line it as much as possible. Turn 6, on the throttle, your full throttle, all the way down this long backstretch, up into 3rd, up into 4th, right around the hill, and now you're just basically just riding the distance right here. Now you're looking for the sign right up here. Basically, as soon as we pass this, we're going to be off throttle now, letting it roll down to 3rd. Just let it roll through this long sweeping turn 7, and now turn 8 down into 2nd. Just letting it coast, just letting it roll, and then down turn 9. Clip the grass a little bit, take a long sweeping corner, full throttle right here, up into gear 3, and just let it roll. Don't shift into 3rd, don't shift down into 2nd, let it roll back into turn 1. Up here, up the hill into gear 4, and then back down to P3, into gear 3, and that's a lap around Canadian Tire. As we have been going on board with that, let's take a gander and see who has been gaining or losing positions. Bassbuck has elevated himself into P6 here. Back into P6 with Badview down to P7. P8 will belong to Packers. P5 of Story Square has gapped both of these drivers. In fact, there they are going through the double right-hander these guys are still going through it. Oh, really getting into the back bumper here again. So difficult in order to lay off each other there in the hard braking double right-handers. But as you can see, though, it's a very delicate game that these guys are playing with each other. Canadian Tire is one of those tracks that is absolutely unforgiving if you go off course. It may not seem like it. It's actually one of the fastest road courses that the game has to offer, but definitely you want to be on your A game here, especially because it's very flat. On the flat corners, you don't want to go off traction at all, because you will just absolutely whip it. It's much like Road America in that scenario. Based on the 90-degree corners that those tracks give off, you really just want to just flow into the throttle and not just mash it. It looks like the 95 has unfortunately called it an engine failure, so the 95 is out of this race, meaning we have 11 left in it. The 00 of Just Ken as well is not doing so hot back there as well. The 48 though of Worst Cod will be elevating to P11 there because of that. But yeah, as we just shift on down, let's see if we have any word from Liv right here. Nope, everyone was just trying to say, hey, you know what? The caution kind of screwed things up, but yeah, no word from Liv quite yet. So hopefully it was just an engine failure. Last night I actually had a full-on internet outage, so hopefully it wasn't like that. It looks like the 00 as well has called it a night. Another engine failure. Guaranteed stage points here, ladies and gentlemen. So Just Ken will get P11 off of that. Hey, you know what? I'm sure that's pretty okay for a lot of these guys. A guaranteed top 10 out of all of this, meaning you basically do not have to worry about not earning points. So that means Worst Cod, congrats, man. You got some stage points off of this. So Just Ken also deciding to bow on out for tonight. Again, another engine failure. Hopefully, as the 20 and the 9 going beating and banging right there. The 9 trying to get loose right there. That's going to allow the 88 Story Square just to snake right on by. So aggressive to get into that double right-hander, but not able to get on the traction is what is going to cost him that position here. We are on lap 6, going on to 7, going into stage 2. We still have one more stage here. Canadian Tire's races is very, very short. So because of that, these guys are definitely kind of just doing mostly sprints around here. These stages are very, very short. In fact, they are just clicking on by. 3 to go here in this stage. So as we take a look at this battle, the 20 is trying to gap both of these guys for P3. The 88 is going to have the preferred lane, touch the grass there, but is going to get a little bit too tight, and now he's going to really be off kilter going into this sharp right-hander here, and then get onto the throttle necessary enough to not really just spin on out. So excellent work by them. And then we have another 3-way battle back here as well. So this is for P 6, 7, and 8 as Bad For You all the way down here, trying to hold off trying to close in on Bassbuck and hold off Packers as the Florida Bush fan all by his lonesome back there. Same thing with the 48 of Worscod. 48 of Worscod, in fact, is where is he at right now? There he is going into turn 1. So as these guys are coming off of turn 9 right here, everyone else is really just kind of just getting into their flow right now. Just the stage is just long enough as the 88, very interestingly, is going to be pitting here. The 88 is going to be pitting and will assumedly stay on out at the end of the stage. Interesting strategy call by him. So he is elected to not try to save that extra lap and is trying to just jump everyone in terms of strategy. Interesting call. You know what? I like it. Do something different. But it looks like Cyber and the one of Xander are both on that save strat. So here we are with only a lap and a half to go, and they are right on each other's bumper. They have already took 2 to go, and they only need this extra lap. Coming off of the corner here, as let's go on board with Bush. Where Bush is right now, essentially, if you turn 0 right here, you are A-OK to make it all the way around. So a lot of these guys are basically just kind of really just managing the gap right there in order to make sure that they can actually hit that number. And with only 1 lap to go, they don't need to do a whole lot here. It's very easy to save around Canadian Tire. Very short lap length. It's only like 1:15 to do a whole lap. It's very similar to the Charlotte Roval, even though the Charlotte Roval feels a lot longer. Here going into turn 3, the 8 is going to give room to the 1, but the 1 is going to be very, very cautious in order to, having a tighter line, has to slow down the car a lot more. And now lap traffic may play a factor as the 48 is going to be just in front of these guys. Hopefully, hopefully all these guys make it, because we don't want to see a great stage finish to be impacted by the fuel light. So because of that, hard up the hill right here, they're going to be side by side going into the backstretch. I think the 8 may possibly just let him go here and may put up a challenge going into the S section. The 1 goes wide, and that may open up the door for the 8. What's he going to do? Is he going to charge the corner going into the turn? No, he's not going to get there. He has one more opportunity going into the corner. He does, but a bumper to the 1 is actually going to help him, and that stage will belong to RS Meatwagon. So here we are, P1 and P2, both championship rivals. Sauce will get P3 out of that. Fire Slayer will get P4. Looks like Bass will get P5. And as we just kind of go on through the rest of the running order, everyone else will just finish exactly where they stand. Source Square will get stage points, of course. He will get P9 off of that. So, no harm, no foul in the long run here. You can see that Story Square essentially just beat out the clock. And now, this is going to be the important stage right here. It is going to be 13 laps to go at the end of this run. Technically, you can make it in fuel. technically, in terms of a fuel roll. However, you will be you'll be cutting it very, very close in terms of both on track as well as your tires. It's going to be a very interesting call to see who will make it. Maybe you don't think you have the speed in order to go and win the race outright, but do you have the strategy? So because of that, looks like Story Square will get the top spot yet again because he did end up stay out at the end of the stage, as I expected him to do. So he'll be back in the top spot. However, the 1 will be on the inside here, and essentially that will just allow him to just go right on by. The 8 now of Cyber being on the outside here in row 2, that is going to be put him into the Hornet's Nest right here, as he is now going to be trapped behind both the 9 and the 88, at least for the hottest of seconds, as he's going to try to get around both as quickly as possible. Now, as we go on through, the 1's goal is to get away from this mess as quickly as possible, as everyone will be charging the corner, going into the double right-hander. Right here is going to be the most dangerous. Everyone's going to be charging the corner. The 1 doesn't want to go wide, but he does! But he's trying to straight line it as much as possible, but he goes wide! Oh, he goes wide, and because of that, he spins on out. The 1 of Xander is going to spin on out. What happened? Oh my goodness, this may... if I know Xander, he's probably trying the fuel strap, but he went too wide, and because of that, everyone is now going to be seconds away. It's so precious of the time that you have between needing to save as well as the time needed in order to stay in front of everyone. That may have forced his hand, and he may have to just go balls to the wall. I mean, I know he drives best when he's angry, and that may be what we are seeing here. The 8 now getting past the 88 very crucially for his race, but he goes wide. The 88 is going to get another shot at it, going to maybe swing down to the inside. No, the 8 is going to hold his zone right there, going into turn 3, now into turn 4, and then into turn 5 and 6 up the hill. Bassbuck now into P3 here. I'm very curious as to what strategies these drivers are incorporating, because like I said, it technically is possible to save around here, but you are playing a dangerous game with both your tires as well as with everyone's distance in terms of like fuel and all that. Oh my goodness, it's very interesting. Sauce getting relegated into P4 off of this. Fire Slayer in the background there, losing a spot to Packers there for P5. Packers starting to come alive here in this race, subtly moving his way forward as the wily veteran does. Still a battle between the top dogs though. The 8 and the 88, numerical brothers here, going at it. What's going on, Hunty? Long time no see you. And, man, we need you back in here, man. Hunty, MRL road courses especially are not the same, without drinking some DP. So, it's very interesting here. There is the 1 all the way back here. Like I said, very, very unfortunate what happened to him at the end of that. He just went too wide, I guess. You're drinking DP on iRacing now? Oh, there we go. Come to us. And man, we know. But yes, all of this is very interesting. How all this and look at that, Story Square just got back around the 8 here. So I wonder, the 88 obviously is not worried about saving at all. He stayed out at the end of this last stage. He has to pit. There's no way he can save 6 laps worth of fuel. Meanwhile, everyone else can technically. So this is going to be very crucial for their first to not be a yellow, and secondly for the strategy to work out accordingly and not get caught up in another person's mess, because that's what we saw with the 1. Looks like he just went way too light. He wanted to straight line it, but got caught on up in another person's mess, and because of that, spun on out. So because of that, here we are with the 88 back up here, trying to get this. Oh, as the 8 get right behind him, gets so loose off of the double right-hander. Um, in fact, I am. I'm looking at all this right here. Here's back for you. I am wondering if he's trying to do that strat as well. If maybe we can go on board with him to try to hear if we can any tells, any early lifting or not. Maybe, honestly, I wouldn't doubt it. Very interesting because he definitely may be incorporating those strategies. I'm hearing some early lifting and very low revs through the double right-hander here. So because of that, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. I want to be a fly. I want to be a fly on the wall right now. So I have my streams live. So give me one hot second. I'm gonna take a listen to some radio. Well, I took a listen, and we are unfortunately. Xander, of course, is very mad. I mean, who wouldn't be with that? But we are getting some word that essentially it was not like any strats by any standard stretch of the imagination. It was just going wide. He's understandably mad. So because of that, the one is now kind of forced into a box here. Essentially, looking at the timing sheet right here, essentially he maybe was going to try to do the whole no pit strat, and because of that, his whole strategy of essentially being an entire half a track behind is just kind of hurting him in the long run here. Meanwhile, his teammate in the 47 up here in P3, kind of just trying to play cheerleader essentially. So it's an interesting dynamic that those two have. Sauce has not said anything. I'm pretty sure he's in a party by himself, so he is not worried about really really anything. As a 20 spins right there, spins it on around, and he will get right back right in. Packers, unfortunately for the 20, he will lose a bucket of time right there. In fact, I actually want to see if there was anything going on with that, just in case. Going on through. Nope, the Fire Slayer just unfortunately just spun it. So that is another driver that just got caught up in the wrong mess. I wonder if oh, very unfortunate for all this. Heredia siding in Fire Slayer's chat. So excellent work by Fire Slayer, getting some Heredia God up in his comments. So look at that. Sauce as well up here now into P3, trying to move forward. Bassbuck and Packers both coming on down already for their pit stops, and now here they are. The 4 has as well has already made his stop. So all of these drivers essentially a full pit stop behind already. And essentially now it's this is the ones race that I was just talking about. Essentially, he lost an entire pit stop by doing that. Now, the strategy may still be up for him. Unfortunately, I don't have a POV for him, but we'll have to keep an eye on it. His race technically is not over. Anything can happen. Meanwhile, the 88 and the 8 are still our two leaders here. These guys have been the class of the field this entire race. And in fact, it's probably going to be game of chess between these two on who's going to pit first. I mean, more than likely it's going to be Story Square. Story Square, you want to pit first. In fact, actually, you want to pit now and just get out of the way because should a caution come on out, and you actually, because if a caution would come out, you want to stay out. You don't want to pit. That would put you in the back of this pack. So the earlier you pit, actually, the better. However, you don't want to pit at the same time as each other and chance of running into each other. We saw that with Sauce, unfortunately, at Challenger this past Tuesday, where unfortunately he did get tagged by someone else going into pit road on the last stop of the race and the season. So it looks like both of these drivers almost in synchronization, both coming on down at the same time. The 88 actually doing a very interesting job in aiming towards the wall. That is going to gain a little bit of time. So we're looking at, of course, the most minute of differences, but technically it is possible. And now here's Sauce. He will be stopping for fuel before anything else. So his tires are fine. So will he do maybe no tires? That is something that Sauce may be thinking about right here. He said that he had something cooking for both the Xfinity and the Cup race here. So maybe this is what he was cooking. Let him cook, as the kids say nowadays. I feel old whenever I say that. But there's Bass getting elevated into P5 after passing Fire Slayer off of the pits, and that still puts Cyber. Oh, we're on board. Sorry, I was wondering who we were on board with. That puts Cyber just in front of them. So both of these drivers were able to gain some time by just staying out a little bit longer. Story Square in front of the 8, though, critically. So all of these guys still up here doing what they need to do. Worst COD as well is one lap down, so that's not for position. However, Bad For You is. So right now it's Sauce and Bad For You in P1 and P2. And if I'm a betting man, Sauce is really protecting those tires. However, he doesn't want to lose too much time here going in through these corners. He may actually just be better off just taking 2. However, your left front is the one that burns the most around here. So these guys are really watching themselves in the sharp right-handers here, especially right here, because that is where your left front will burn the most. So Sauce is probably cooking something that we're not so sure on. Pardon me. Just behind these guys is Packers and Bush Fan. Both of those guys battling for position, as Fire Slayer as well is behind them. So they are both battling. That is for P7, 8, and 9. Put Xander into P6. So Xander's, like I said, his race is not over. He can get something here. Horse Cod as well, going off to somewhere. And because of that, here is position change for Story Square up front. Now this is P2. I'm assuming Sauce is going to be coming on down, and there's about half a track. The entire backstretch is what these guys are looking at right here. So because of that, if I'm looking at this correctly, no tires, half can only. This is going to be a 3-second stop for Sauce. So here's Story Square. There's Sauce. He's hit his box right now, and Story Square is coming on through the S section. Sauce is just now leaving his stall, so now he will be the leader. Critically, though, Story Square will have fresh tires, and same thing with Cyber. These guys they don't fear God right now. They are just absolutely just chongun right now, and because of that, they have nothing to lose. Sauce has everything to lose because of his tire. That's Bass. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We went the wrong way. Don't worry about it. There's Sauce. And critically, the 88 is behind. So Sauce can push a little bit. He is on 22% going into only 2 more laps left in this race. So he can make it, but he has to protect. And just like that, by oozing time like that, this may come on out to be a very critical point in this race. Essentially, with 20% left, you can go balls to the wall. and this may have been the strat of a lifetime in order to snag this win. However, Story Square and Cyber have proven to be the fastest cars out on track, and these guys are absolutely just going for it right now. Bassbug taking the off-road. What the heck am I looking at? He absolutely just dove it into turn 7. But yes, with 2 laps to go here, we're on board with Cyber, who sees both the 9 and the 88 just in front of him. 2 laps to go, and only 17 corners. Make that 16 now left to go. Sauce, though, because of his tire wear light is on. He's on 14%, and so is his fuel. He's not worried about fuel, though. He's worried about that left front. As long as he makes it into the front stretch with 8% tire wear, he will be fine. But look at that, the time gain by the 88 in front of him, but he gets loose. This may be a battle for P2, and Cyber, oh my god, I worked myself up. Cyber will get P2 off of that, getting loose off of the double right-hander of turns 5 and 6. Cyber, if Sauce doesn't make it, or if Cyber can catch him, will win this race. But the 88 is still not out of it yet. He is right behind, going into turn 8 and now turn 9. We're on the last lap. Sauce, what percentage are you on, my friend? You are on 8%. He's doing exactly what he needs to do. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have just turned in, you are watching the final lap of the MRL Season 3 Cup Series Race 4, and Cyber is gaining so much on this number 9, and because of how loose that tire wear is, again, working myself up, he is just losing grip, and the 9, because of that, is now, oh my goodness, he may have just lost this race. He probably already did, but the podium is still in it. He tosses it on down. Here in this double right-hander, the 88 as well tosses it on down, going into double right-hander, can't stop, and now he's going to lose it for P3. Now, this may be a battle for the win right here. Cyber trying to close on gap to the 88. What are we going to see? Are we going to see a dive? Are we going to see maybe a lunge or so? He's going to toss on into turn 7, turn 8, and turn 9. He wants to get a good lineup here. Turn 8, straight lines it a little bit of bumper. No, he can't get there. The 88. Oh, he straight lines it again, but he won't get there. The 8 of Cyber will not get there and will lose to Story Square at the line. Looks like, as well as the 9 lost that tire, and he is trying to just putt it around right now, and he, unfortunately, as well, will lose on out, both with a bad tire as well as running out of fuel. But he will get P6 after all of that. Xander and Bushfan, these guys are still racing right now. Xander currently in P7, Bushfan in P7 right here is Bushfan, P8 being Xander. These guys are still racing, coming on through. We have right there Bushfan getting the P7, Xander gonna get P8. Bad for you, somewhere around here. Bad for you, P9 and P10 worst COD, as he is also coming on around. Oh my goodness, absolute scenes. Absolute scenes off of all of that. Worst COD, I'm still waiting on worst COD. Oh, there he is. And just like that, we have our full results. Sauce tried. He tried. And unfortunately, was not able to make the strategy work. Still good enough for P6. But Storysko will be with the win. Cyber P2, Bass P3, Packers P4. Look at Packers up here. P5 will belong to Fireslayer. P6, Sauce. 7th will be Bushfan. P8 will be Xander. P9 will be Bad For You. And P10 will be Worst COD. And then we go into our DNFs, which will be 11th being Just Ken. P12 will be Liv. And for our Our last place points will be Deathstorm and Keith in that order. So, fastest lap will go to Xander with a 1:14.8. Unsurprising, but unfortunately, this series does not pay for fastest laps. So let's get our top three up in here and let's see what they have to say. So I'm going to mute myself for a hot second. I'll be right back. All right. So as we wait to see what everyone is going to say. Everyone is joining the Discord, obviously, in order to kind of talk about what happened. Um, of course, Story Square is beyond words. I'll let him explain that, but he is beyond words. Bass, of course, saying one more lap, he could have been there. But absolute scenes. We're also getting some words from a PSN chat. What's going on right here? Or actually, just could be bad for you just sending. Uh, oh, yeah. Awesome. Bad for you coming in clutch with the full result, so I don't have to grab them myself. Whew. Excellent work. Man, bad for you is coming in clutch this entire season. Gotta love him. Gotta love him. Been giving me stage results. Been giving me full results. The only person to do that consistently, by the way. So please, Monday nights, please do that. So I guess as we wait for Bass to join us, we can start with P2, of course. Cyber. Of course, let's start with the good news. You are our championship leader still after this race. However, I'm sure at the end of all of that, you wanted to be the winner here. Came so close, but take us through the final set of corners.
Just had it right where I wanted it to be and was in the right place at the right time going in the last lap. And let's just say I got a little replay slash flashback to that broadcast you had at the Challenger Series Season 0 with Xander and Hunty. Yeah, I was in Xander's position in that one. Now I know how he felt after that one. But yeah, I mean, car was fast all race long, put it in the right positions at the right time, pulled away from the field at one point, made some adjustments to making sure it was like loose or tight for like the runs in general. Kind of made a bad move the last stage, tightened it up a bit, but I was just trying something different to figure out with this No H Chevrolet of the caliper on the car. But yeah, I'm just lost for words a bit, but I'll take a second. I mean, it's not really anywhere. I just really wanted to win, like you said. I mean, I wanted to win this one, but it is what it is. Just gotta move on to the next one.
Well, of course, this is your the next one. I mean, let's start with that. Obviously, the next one, of course, will be Richmond. One of your favorite tracks that you have successfully have scored multiple top five as well as podiums here in past. So Richmond is definitely one of your better tracks. But yeah, tonight at a road course, you in the Challenger race, which was the most recent race that we've been here for Canadian Tire, only 3 weeks ago, if we think about it, you did not have the best of runs. Were you able to use anything from that Tuesday race in order to transition to the Cup race tonight?
I just mainly used of what I had here the last time, which I didn't run here until like August in ERA. Shout out to that league. But
R.I.P.
off of the Challenger race, yeah, I kind of learned a little bit, but not too much. I mean, I just learned off of what I did here in the Cup car last time, which, and to apply Hunty reasons. But yeah, I just learned off of that and just went with it, and it was fast.
As fast as Xfinity Internet. So with that, Cyber, like I said, congrats. You are the point leader entering this race, I should say, and also exiting. So excellent job. Going for a record third MRL Cup championship. Still a lot of work to go. We are only a quarter of the way through the season, so anything can happen. But so far, so good. Excellent job.
Thanks.
So let's go over to Ricky Stenhouse because I think Bass joined. Yes, he did. So let's go over to Ricky here. And Bass, your race was up and you're down. At the end of stage one, I do believe, you were just barely into the top 10 for stage points, getting spun by getting clipped by the double zero, I should say, and then spinning. And then you just slowly, methodically worked your way up here, and now here you are in P3 for a podium finish. What was your race, and how crazy was it?
Yes. Yeah, pretty much. I don't know. That's how it usually goes, it seems like, for me lately. Just, yeah. I'm not sure really, got behind in stage one and then just kind of worked my way back up there and, yeah, I don't know. Not much to it.
Well, I mean, honestly, you were actually one of the faster guys in the entire field. In fact, you said in the Discord that you just needed one more lap in order to be a part of the battle for possibly a win. What would you have done, honestly? Would you have like just full on sent it, or I mean, like, what would you be willing to do for that win?
Um, I guess we'll never know. I don't know, man. I was trying. It's just, I just gotta get. I just not that good enough on. I need laps. I just can't like. I just need laps under me, and then I get a little bit better as I go. So I don't know. I was hoping the short pit would have gave me some time on them in the early part of that run, but I just lost a little bit too much there, and yeah, I just needed one more lap with them battling and stuff. But it was fun. I wish it looked fun up there. I mean, it looked like a hell of a battle up there. I wish I was a part of it. And who knows what would have happened. But yeah, congrats to Story Square. It's pretty cool for him. And yeah, we'll take it. Rolling
Oh,
down the road.
well, that is definitely a step in the right direction. Entering this race, you were P6 in the title. You're gonna gain some points. You're going to gain some points because Liv had an engine failure and Mike G just didn't show up. So nor put in last place points. So definitely going to elevate your way up through the points order here. So excellent job, Bass, in order to get some good stage points as well as a podium. Let's move on to our race winner here. I know you are stoked, all the way to Alex Bowman. So many podiums have come and gone here at this track. Story Square is Canadian Tire just your lucky charm or what? Well, I can tell that you are absolutely. It sounds like you're out of breath. Out of all that, everyone congratulating you in the Discord. This is your first win for the Cup Series, so definitely it was well deserved. So I mean, honestly, like I said, I don't know if it's just Canadian Tire, but you've consistently scored podium after podium at this track in this league. I just want to know. I mean, like share the wealth, man. I want to know how to drive that consistently around here. Oh, wow. And with oh, I'm sure you're gonna be. I would love to see a POV of your POV throughout that entire last lap, because I'm sure you probably thought that you were out of it, and then as quickly as things change, you were back in it. Story Square. Hell, let's fast forward to 2 days from now. You are going to be here again in the Monday series. You got recently picked up, and you are going to be going for a title, not just for yourself for the driver standings, but with GMI, very surprisingly, with the person that you just made contact with. So you're apologizing to Xander. He's going to be your team owner and teammate. I just think it's funny. But what can you take from this race into that race? Well, you've shown him multiple times that you can win, but something or other has gone not gone your way, as you say, and it just was finally able to happen tonight. Story Square, congrats, man! First win here in the MRL Cup Series. We'll also lock yourself into the Clash as well as the All Star race for both winning the pole as well as the race. A very prestigious honor to. I mean, well, if we were to count laps where most laps led, you would also probably got that as well. Um, but yeah, almost sweeping the entire session with unfortunately getting knocked for fastest lap by the one. But that though, any final thoughts before we close on out for the night podium, guys?
What he said.
Ditto. Uh, well, with that, who says that small lobbies can't produce some great racing? With that, we have a great finish on our hands with Soares for getting the top spot. Congratulations to him. We have Cyber, well, P2, Bass, and P3. Welcome back. The Cup Series, all the series. We have F1 tomorrow. That's back. We have Lights that are back on Monday. The only one that's taking a break is Challenger. So, with that, we're going to be closing on out for the night. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you all so much for coming on out, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.